Welcome to your ultimate Florence guide. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Eleonora, your Italian bestie. I give daily tips and tricks on all things Italy, both on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I know it's a lot, but I have so much to share with you. I am 100% Italian, was born and raised in Rome. I feel like I know so much about Italy, and that's why I started Your Italian Bestie, because I know so much about my country. And I'm like, why not share it with you? So this is your Florence guide. We'll cover where to stay, where to eat, what to do, what to book, etc. So first of all, where to stay in Florence. So I have a couple of options for you, but before I jump on where to stay, I actually want to give you a little bit of context of the city in general. So Florence, it's actually such a small, compact city. It's not the city that's small. The city center is just very, very compact. It's not like Rome. Rome is like from one end to the other end of the city center. It's literally like 2-3 hours, like walking. However, Florence, you can reach one end to the other of the city center in about 20 minutes. That's why I'm going to be telling you to stay a little bit outside of the main chaos. Because for that specific reason, the city center is going to be packed all day long. So for me, I would personally stay somewhere that's like just a tiny bit outside, a little bit more of a quiet oasis outside of the city center of the main craziness. And this doesn't mean that it will be absolutely dead, because in a city like that, tourists will be everywhere, but it will be much more manageable and enjoyable from my perspective. So first of all, I would stay in and around Lungarno, also Santo Spirito area as well. So basically Santo Spirito, it's more like the local part of the center. It's Lungarno, Arno is the river. So in and around Lungarno, it's where Lungarno is literally that strip where the Arno River is. So after that, that becomes Santo Spirito. So you have to cross the bridge. But I mean, crossing the bridge is like 3 minutes walk. So it's not going to be a long walk to go from like Santo Spirito up until, to the city center. But it has so many more like local bars, local places to eat, drink, and shop. The shops in Santo Spirito are much, much nicer. And if you're lucky enough, on the second Sunday of the month, there is actually the vintage markets in Santo Spirito, which I've been to, and they were so much fun. Secondly, you can also stay in and around Santa Croce, which is still like a really popular area, but is not as busy as staying in the Duomo area. Like I feel like the Duomo area is just insanity. I mean, I actually did stay there last month, but because it was October, it was so much more manageable. But if you're going there in July, August, please do not stay in the Duomo area, because I mean, if you're lucky, you won't hear anything from outside, but if you get at a place where maybe the windows don't seal properly or anything like that, you will not be able to sleep. So because of all the noise and all the chaos that obviously the tourism brings naturally. So either Santa Croce or Santo Spirito for where to stay. Now, transport. The beautiful thing about Florence is the train station is literally it's literally right in the city center. So walking there is so easy. You won't need to get public transport in Florence at all. So that is my favorite thing. So don't worry about public transport at all. Now, in terms of safety, Florence overall is quite safe. Just make sure you mind your bags in and around the Duomo area, because everyone is going to be, oh my God, the Duomo, like it's so beautiful. Just mind your bags. As long as your bag is zipped, you will be fine. Don't get into big crowds where, you can't move too much or anything like that. And on the station, so if you're at the train station trying to buy tickets for somewhere else, some people might come and approach you asking you if they can help you. Just say no, because they're going to help you and then they're going to probably rob you. So please do not do that unless they have a uniform that says Trenitalia, like they work at the station. That's different. But if they look like random people, do not engage with them. So the next point is Florence is full of leather. It's very famous for its leather and its gold. So I actually think personally, I struggled when I was in Florence the first time to find a place where I'm like, oh, these leather bags look legit. Because if you pay enough attention, you're going to see that all the stores, all these little stores that say Italy, made in Italy bags, whatever, they're actually all made in the same factory, because it's the same styles, the same colors, the same patterns, like they're exactly the same. So how can that be authentic? You know what I mean? So make sure that where you go doesn't have those styles. And look, I created a Florence Insider guide, and this is one of my most popular guides because it has everything you need to know about traveling to Florence, from itinerary, like a day-by-day itinerary, where to shop, eat, and drink, and everything. It has also a Google Maps, so you can check, like if you're looking for a restaurant and you're like in Florence, you're like, oh my God, there's so many around me, I don't know where it's like good quality. Like I've tested and tried all of these restaurants and I've put them in this guide for you. The guide will cost you the same as like an Aperol Spritz, but I feel like it's such a great investment for your trip, because that is nothing worse than spending hundreds and hundreds of euros of your own hard-earned money onto like the worst leather bags or the worst pasta. So check it out. I will link it down below. Now let's talk about what you should book before your trip. There is one major landmark museum, I would say, that I would recommend you pre-booking as soon as possible. So if you have your dates for Florence, book it right now, because there's no point in you waiting. And the more you wait, the less spots are going to be available. And then you're going to have to just go there at like 4 p.m. or something random. So I'm talking about the Uffizi Gallery. Uffizi Gallery is such a special museum. You cannot go to Italy and to Florence and not go to the Uffizi. It's kind of like the Colosseum for Rome, but for that specific reason, it's always so packed. My recommendation is to go there, to book in for a 9 a.m. tour, skip the line tour, so you can go do your thing for a couple hours, 2, 3, 4 hours, and then you can leave, and then you still have a whole day ahead of you. I would not skip the Venere di Botticelli, the birth of Venus from Botticelli. It's just the most incredible painting I've ever seen in my life. And you literally, like, I cried when I was in front of the Venere di Botticelli because it's just so, so stunning. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend you pre-booking the Uffizi Gallery. I will leave that down below, links to pre-book that. I would book it through Viator or obviously the Uffizi official website if anything is available for your date, but those sell out very fast. That's why I'm saying pre-book. Where to eat in Florence? Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 restaurants that you can check out, or 3 places to eat. Like I was saying to you before, I have my Florence Insider guide. So for all the places divided by wines, like wineries, cool bars, cafes, restaurants, street food, it will all be in my Florence Insider guide. So 3 places to eat in Florence will be, the first one will actually be an aperitivo spot, and it's called Il Santino, and it's in Santo Spirito, so just at a 10-minute walk from the city center. And basically it's such a beautiful place, and you can go and grab a nice glass of wine for like 8 euros, like super cheap, and you can get a really, really nice like platter of cheeses and meats as well. We had that, it was so delicious. My number 2 will be go for a seafood dinner at Onde Ristorante. That is actually part of the Four Seasons Hotel, which is a dream. And Onde Ristorante is the most incredible seafood like I've ever had in my life. And they even have a dessert room. So you pay, I think it's like 18 euros per person, but you can have as much dessert as you want going in that room. You can literally scoop out the tiramisu. It's quite upscale, but it's still very, very fun. Like, it doesn't feel too pretentious at all. The quality of the seafood was incredible. My number 3 would be have a brunch or coffee and an Italian breakfast as well at Ditta Artigianale. That is such a great cafe brunch spot. Ideally, you would want to stay in Florence for 3 nights minimum, and you can extend to 4 nights if you want to do a day trip to the Tuscan countryside as well, which I highly, highly recommend. Or if you have more time, stay in Florence for 3 nights and then take another 3 or 4 nights or whatever you prefer to go in the Tuscan countryside as well, which is such an incredible place to be. My dream is to buy a house over there because it's just the dream landscape, the dream foods, everything. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out all the links in the description box and subscribe for all the Italy tips. I'll be seeing you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.